Now, if anyone can spot green shoots in the global economy, it would or should be Deere. That is the world's largest maker of farm equipment. CEO Samuel Allen spoke exclusively with Bloomberg's Peter Cook yesterday at a global hunger conference in Washington. And like others, Deere has been hit hard by the global downturn. Peter asked Allen if he thinks the recession is over.
Well, it's certainly over in certain portions of the world, but not in others. So, for example, in Brazil, things are coming back a little bit, but in other places like Russia, places like Western Europe, things are still very, very difficult.
And what are you seeing in terms of here in the United States? Any indications of real improvement here? Because there have been some questions raised about whether this is a sustainable recovery.
So far, we've not seen it, especially in our construction and forestry business, which is very housing dependent. We have not seen any upturn at this point in time. We do not anticipate we'd see one until sometime in 2010 anyway, but at this point in time, we have not seen an upturn.
You talked a little bit at the session here about trade and some concerns about trade going forward, obviously very important to your business.
Right.
Talk to me a little bit more about that. What worries you right now?
Well, there's a general theme of protectionism that's coming back into play, and what I think people, the public in general, a lot of times does not appreciate when you hear that. At that point in time, the markets do not stay open. When they don't stay open, a lot of times people don't make the investments. The investments are over the long term, so people that today are concerned about some of these protection, some of the barriers to entry, therefore will not make an investment. And that investment, therefore, will not stimulate the economy. So it's a concern. The way for the U.S. to stay competitive is to assure that it's an open market, it's a free market.
You made a big investment recently in Russia, other parts of the world. Talk to me about your business going forward domestically here in the U.S. versus abroad. Is it going to be abroad that really drives your growth?
Well, we're about 40% of our sales are outside of the U.S., and that's continued to grow every year. Certainly, as agriculture continues to grow all around the world, as well as our construction equipment business around the world, we'll see more growth outside of the U.S. than in the U.S., but we're still very optimistic that we'll have a lot of growth in the U.S. as well as exporting a lot of product to other parts of the world.
Now, Allen was in Washington to help launch the Global Harvest Initiative. We'll also hear from the CEO of Archer Daniels Midland as well.